All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a massive global conflict. But forget oil, forget territory. This fight is all about something way smaller, but maybe even more powerful. The tiny minerals that literally run our modern world. You know, this quote right here, it really sets the stage perfectly. We're talking about a future where the wars aren't fought over the things we're used to. Instead, everything from the most advanced AI to the stealthiest fighter jets, it all comes down to these strange-looking stones. We call them critical minerals. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It's the very real backdrop for a new kind of global power struggle. And at the center of it all, two titans, the United States and China. So what's the big deal? Well, it boils down to something pretty simple, but also incredibly important. Right now, China is the world's #1 supplier of these raw materials, the very materials that power not just America's, but the entire world's most advanced industries. So you have to ask, right? What happens when one single country has that much leverage? Well, let's play this out. Let's imagine it's the near future, say October 2025. And then it happens. China decides to flex its muscle. It just stops exporting rare earth magnets to the United States. And the effect? It's not slow. It's an immediate, massive shockwave that ripples right through the entire global tech supply chain. And the financial hit? It's just staggering. In a scenario like this, you could see the US market lose something like $1.5 trillion in value. I mean, almost overnight. That really puts into perspective the real-world cost of being this dependent on one source. Okay, so when you're faced with that kind of vulnerability, you can't just sit back. The US has to make a strategic countermove. So fast forward a couple of months in our scenario to December 2025. And that move comes in the form of a brand new, really powerful alliance. And they give it a pretty cool name, Pax Silica. You know, Pax is Latin for peace, and silica is from silicon. So the whole idea is peace through silicon. It's basically an alliance of tech-savvy nations coming together to break China's chokehold and, secure the future of innovation for themselves. So you look at the founding members, and it's exactly who you'd expect, right? A real who's who of developed, tech-forward economies. But take a close look at that list. Do you notice a really big, really important country that's, well, not on it? Yeah, where was India in all of this? You've got this rising tech powerhouse, and it's not on the list? That definitely raised some eyebrows. To a lot of people, it looked like a major diplomatic snub. But it didn't take long for it to become super clear that the US desperately wanted India on its team. So by January 2026, a formal invitation goes out, and just like that, India finds itself right at the center of a massive, high-stakes choice. And this is a really tough spot to be in. India basically has two paths. Path 1, join the US alliance. The upside, you get secure access to all this critical tech. The downside, you directly antagonize China, which is a huge trading partner. Path 2, stay neutral. The pro here is you're sticking to your long-standing non-aligned policy. But the con? Well, you risk getting shut out of the next generation of tech alliances entirely. But here's the thing about India. It wasn't just sitting around waiting for an invitation. No way. Behind the scenes, they were already busy making their own moves, building their own technological independence. And you can see the signs of this happening in the real world already. Big tech giants are pouring money into the country. Think about a number like $50 billion in investments, all to build out India's AI infrastructure. Why? Because they see what's coming. They know India is a colossal market for the future. So this really isn't a country that's just waiting to be picked for a team. This is a nation that is actively and very strategically building its own power base. They've launched their own critical mineral mission to get resource independence. They started the Semicon India initiative to create a domestic manufacturing hub. They're engaging with the US, sure, but on their own terms, making it clear they're against any single country having a monopoly. And they're cleverly positioning themselves as the China plus one destination for giants like Apple. Which brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? In this new great game for tech supremacy, is India just another player or a partner? Or is it the kingmaker? As the US and China face off, the path India chooses, whether it picks a side or forges its own, could very well be the move that decides who wins.